Hello everybody, I am Oak Norton and I am super excited to show you our very latest feature for Scripture Notes, Time Skimmer. This is a brand new game that we've implemented to help teach people the basic chronology or book order of the Scriptures. And so I'm just going to show this to you real quick and go try it out. I think you're going to have a lot of fun. So on the left side menu, we now have a new item here called Games. And if you click that, you will get our very first game called Time Skimmer. Now, clicking on this button right here, this background, will open Time Skimmer at the far left. And the reason for this is twofold. One, we have an issue with some of the panes where they reset, and I don't want something to reset this, and it's safer on the left until we get this little bug fixed. It's a long-standing bug that we're going to be working on very soon. And second, when you're playing the Time Skimmer in like learn mode, you're trying to figure things out, you might want to open up other content to the side of it. And so you could, open up your scriptures and look at something that you're trying to place and sort of give yourself a little assistance as you're working on the timeline. So here's how it works. You can click instructions here and get the instructions. I'm going to kind of show you how it works so you don't need to read those. You're going to select a player. So when you click change player, you can add a new player, and then when you want to select who's playing, you just click on the name. And now we'll click play game. And you can see we've got 10 decks in here right now and more to come. And so there's 3 of them that are for free users that aren't subscribed to Scripture Notes. I hope you all subscribe to help continue supporting development. But then you've got 7 other decks that you can dive into. Now, the way this works, you can see here I've got Old Testament books, New Testament books, Book of Mormon books, the first 10 patriarchs of the Old Testament from Adam to Noah. There's a hint on who's first and last. And then from Adam to Abraham, that's the first 20 patriarchs. So if you want to learn how they fit together, try those out. Then I've got a basic Old Testament timeline. This has, if I click on this, it's got a deck of 32 cards, okay? Let me go back here. And then we've got the Gospels, Acts of the Apostles, basic Book of Mormon timeline, and a full Book of Mormon timeline. Each of these has a chronology that I've done my best to try and put together from various sources. If you click this About, it will tell you exactly what's going on with that deck, why it's structured the way it is. And so you can see here, like for the Gospels, I'm going to use 5 BC for Christ's birth and 30 AD for the beginning of his ministry because Herod the Great died in 4 BC, according to timelines. And so Joseph and Mary would have fled to Egypt to save Jesus prior to that date. And so that puts his birth probably around 5 BC. Now, timelines are notoriously inaccurate when you start going back a long way. So we don't know exactly how all these come together, and the important thing, like it says down here at the end, the game is simply to put things in their proper order and understand the flow of the story of the Gospels. These are not definitive dates like, oh, this is what Time Skimmer says, so it has to be this exact date. But I've done my best to try and go along with kind of like what the consensus is for dates. So with that said, here's how it works. I will click into just Old Testament books, and you can see there's a 1-player and a 2-player mode, and I can say, oh, I don't want to show the timer, or I do want to show it. I'll leave it on, and I'll do 1-player mode. Eventually, soon, we'll have also a learn mode, so that if you lose the game and you're like halfway through the deck, and you get frustrated because like, oh, I don't want to start it over again, that's what learn mode will let you do. It'll be like, oh, try again, try again, try again. So here's 1-player mode. Basically, the card that you're supposed to place will appear at the top, Joshua. And then below that is what your game play field is. So first is at the top, last is at the bottom. So Joshua, the book of Joshua, comes before Joel. So I would click this plus sign to insert it, and you can see it brings it right in there, and it adds an extra plus. Now, if I click down here below and I get that wrong, it's going to invite me to try the game again or select a new deck. It'll tell me how long I played and how many cards I got right out of the whole deck. So 2 out of 39. And so if I hit the X in the top right corner, I can still scroll around if this list was long and I wanted to see, where I was at with the game. But I can hit back and back again and select a new deck. Now, if you finish an entire deck perfectly, if you do that, it will record your longest streak. Like here's the Book of Mormon deck, 15 cards, longest streak 15, best time 25 seconds. Okay, so that's just scrolling around and clicking real quick, and it will track your best score as you go. So now this full Book of Mormon timeline, there's 100 cards here. Now if anybody out there, I'm going to toss out this challenge that if on your first try through this you actually get it correct, I'm going to give you a year's subscription to Scripture Notes for free. Of course, you'd have to be a pro member to play this or on your free trial period. But if you can get all 100 of those in the correct order on your first try, this is honor system. You can't say, oh, here, I'm going to send you a screenshot. You got to send me a screenshot showing you got it all correct. You can't do that on like your second, third, fourth, fifth, 10th, 20th try. Honor system, got to do it on the first try. So that is my challenge to you, and I hope you enjoy Time Skimmer. The idea behind this is when you understand the timeline of events on chronology, it helps you to build your framework. You know when something happens. If somebody references, you're like, oh, I can place that in my framework that came before this or after this. And that's super helpful in trying to maintain an understanding of the scriptures. So give the game a shot. You saw in there too, there's a 2-player mode. So you just say, okay, player 1, player 2, you just alternate, pass the mouse or whatever. This will come to mobile, so you will be able to play it on like your tablet or a phone. And yeah, have fun. This is one of a few games that I have in mind that will help people to learn the scriptures and things better. So I hope you're excited about this. Go try it out. See you next time.